Hey there, this is Terra T, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of the units, some basic info about the units in miniguns. So from your main screen, you want to click on the Armies tab. On this tab, you'll see a few core things. On the very top, you could pick between Republic and Dominion. You are assigned one of these teams or the other when you're playing a game. You don't get to choose, so you want to make sure you've sorted all your different characters properly for your gameplay. In the midsection here, it has all the different units you could use which you currently don't have in your lineup. So these are guys I haven't assigned right now. And then at the bottom, where I'm seeing these guys and I'm just moving them around right now, those are the units you'll have in your game when you play. The first one is your base. You always have to have a base of some sort. I've got a couple bases available. I've got the common one and an anti-vehicle one. The anti-vehicle is only for land-moving vehicles, so I typically don't use that. And then I've got an assortment of troops. When you click on any one of these, you're going to open up the details screen. So, a few things you want to note on this screen. So in the top midsection, right under the vehicle name, so Typhoon, you see here, this helicopter is level 3. And I've got 4 of these pieces in my inventory. And as you open up strong boxes and other boxes in the game, you get more pieces of various units. And that's used for upgrades and unlocking new units. If you look into the upgrade section, I still need 6 more of the Typhoons to upgrade, but I've got enough of the helicopters. I need 5 helicopters and I've got 40, but I need 10 Typhoons and I've only got 4. If you click on the statistics tab, it's going to show you the health of the vehicle, damage per second, how fast it moves, the upkeep, damage per second, number 2 for the other kind of weapon, if it has 2 weapons, and the run speed. And at the very bottom, this is what I always look at. It's what kind of other units it could target. So a lot of the vehicles in this game and the units can't attack every single unit. It can only attack certain classes of units. In this case, the Typhoon can attack everything on the land, but cannot attack a helicopter or a plane. So that's critical to know. And under the traits screen, it'll show you if there's any traits on this. This one is saying, this mini reduces incoming damage from opposing ground units, people, so the small soldiers, foot soldiers, it'll take less damage from. When I'm looking at these vehicles, and I'm setting up my grouping for playing a game, I make sure I have a balance of units that could attack land vehicles, attack air vehicles, and make sure in the land vehicles I have a balance between attacking the tanks and the people. And obviously you need something that can attack a base all the time, because that's what you want to do, is destroy your enemy base. And another key thing I look at is upkeep. The higher the upkeep of a vehicle, the more it's going to take away from the action points you get per minute, which means the less units you could spit out there when you're playing against somebody else. So that's important to look at. The other aspect I want to show you, if I'm able to do it, yes. For example, in this helicopter, I needed 15 helicopters. I had 40 in my inventory, and I need 10 armed trucks, and I had 19. So I can upgrade now, or click on upgrade. If I click on upgrade, it's going to put it into my queue for upgrading. After 20 minutes, it'll be automatically upgraded for free. Or if I want to do it right now instantly, I could spend 5 gold. You can see I got 1174 gold, so I could do it now. I will do upgrade and do it for free. So now it's started, and that will be in my queue. If I go over here, you'll see it's in my queue right there in the bottom left-hand side for upgrading. If you're trying to open up a box you got in a battle as well, that takes up that spot. You can open up these other spots if you wanted. I didn't want to spend 1,000 gold for that, but that's an option you could do. And if I go back over here, some of the things you need to know about the units as well, which may or may not be obvious, but I think they listen to the traits, is some units are mobile. So the foot soldiers will run to your point you set them on the map, and then attack whoever's around there, and then keep on walking slowly to the enemy base and keep on shooting. You have units like the howitzer that will run to the first point, but once it's there, it will stay there the whole time and shoot only in specific range that it could shoot in. And there are vehicles like the plane that can only take out people on the ground or other air vehicles. And some of these other vehicles, like this one, have special abilities. When you use this mini, the transport helicopter, it will actually go to the spot you select, and it's going to start deploying soldiers down onto the ground right around there. So if you're trying to get to a spot and deploy a lot of soldiers, that is a good unit to do that. If you're looking to swap out a unit, you can easily just flick one of the pieces up above and then find one of the other ones you want to use. I'm going to try this attack helicopter and flick it down to that spot. And the other important thing with the screen is the first few units you get instantly when you start playing. However, if you look at these, this guy has 20 seconds. That means 20 seconds into the game, then I can start using that unit. This one is 40 seconds, 60 seconds, and then the plane is 80 seconds. So if there are units you want to use earlier on, you want to put them up front because they'll be available right away, and then units you don't think you'll need to later in the game you put further back. Now, one thing you want to balance with this is units that cost you more, it's better to put further down because you're not going to have that many action points at the beginning. If you go under the Dominion, it's the same sort of thing. There's various different units, stationary gunner, there's another howitzer like guy, heavy mortar they call it in this on this side, but it's the same thing as the howitzer on the other team. Hover tank actually is quite a good one, but it's the same sort of deal. You want to take a look at what the unit can actually attack, if there's any specific traits you need to care about, and how you're going to use them. You want to have a balance of the different kinds of units and make sure that you're pretty set for what you want to do. And in this case too, I have a common base, an anti-vehicle base, and an anti-air base. But as I mentioned before, you really want to make sure that you're defending effectively for any troops that come at you. So I use the common base that can take out any air or ground troops. The advantage of the air base is it's going to be much more effective against air vehicles, and the anti-vehicle base will be much more effective against ground vehicles, but every other unit is going to be able to take those down. Hopefully this gives you a good summary of how to use these units and what they do. I will create a few more videos on how to use this game with some strategy, and I'll see you soon.